What is going on, guys? This is the Vaulted Podcast, your number one source for cards, collecting, and the community. I'm not Shivam, your host, and we're about to go right into it. So, this past weekend was Gen Con. Gen Con is the largest and longest running tabletop-based convention in North America. For those guys who do not know a tabletop convention, what a tabletop convention basically is, it's essentially this massive convention where that's pretty much based on board games and actual gameplay. It was actually pretty crazy going to this convention, and honestly, it was very crazy. It was very crazy. So I landed on Friday morning. And actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So on tonight's podcast, it's gonna be a little bit more different than normal. So if it's weird, if you're listening to me through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you do come over to the YouTube side and watch this, because I am showing a lot of cards and a lot of things that I bought throughout these past few weeks. So some of this stuff is from Gen Con, some of this stuff is from the National, some of this stuff does come from events prior to that. So it's just stuff that I haven't been able to actually show, and I'm actually going to show it tonight. If you're listening to us right now, make sure you give us a like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Make sure you share it to all your friends, and again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. So let's see. Let me put my phone away. I was just looking at my phone in terms of notifications. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So this past weekend I was at Gen Con. Gen Con is the number one largest and longest running tabletop convention out there. If you are a gamer, if you're this type of person who has a bunch of friends and you just want to go demo out a bunch of games, I think Gen Con is probably the best place to go to. It gives me a lot of like fantasy kind of vibes. When I walked in to the convention center, so I landed that morning really early. Grab Chew picked me up. We went immediately to the convention center. I had to change because I couldn't wear certain clothes for some of the videos that I was producing. So pretty much did that. Went to my Airbnb where myself and Grab Chew stayed, and got to work as far as that goes. But honestly, first, walking into the National is definitely overwhelmed with the amount of sports cards that was available. This was way more overwhelming. Like the amount of people, the amount of board games, the amount of cards. It just blew my mind. I was definitely taking a step, I had to take a step back, because it was just not in a bad way. It was just really crazy. And upon going there, I had a lot of I think I had a positive time there. Sure, there wasn't that many Pokemon cards available. There was a decent amount. I'd say quite a decent amount, but not a whole lot like you're normally used to at a convention like Collecticon. But there was a lot of positives. For one, like the floor had carpeting on it. It was at the Indiana Convention Center. And it made it a lot easier to walk around in, especially for a convention that's lasting 4 days long. What else? That was part of it, and there was just a lot of central air, so it wasn't hot like your normal Collecticon. Like Collecticons can get hot depending on where it's at, because you're put in like this giant warehouse. And I'm not talking down on Collecticon at all, but I think Gen Con is doing it right in a lot of ways. There's a lot of cool things that they're doing that I just really did appreciate. But yeah, so upon getting there, I was definitely overwhelmed. There was like people playing like a mandolin or whatever it's called. There was a giant dragon made of balloons. Lots of people in cosplay, like more cosplay that I've actually ever seen, which was definitely a new experience for me, because like I see some cosplay at Collecticon. I just didn't see this amount of cosplay at a show. And honestly, it was really fun, like I love cosplay. I think it's really awesome. It reminds me of Halloween. And why can't Halloween be multiple days? Why not at a convention? So I thought that was really awesome. What else? I pretty much got to go on behalf of eBay. Shout out to eBay. eBay, they wanted me to come out to open up some packs. Got to open up some packs. So I was only there for really 2 days. I was there for Friday, and I was there for Saturday, and then Sunday I left. Sunday I was there for just a few hours, and then I left and came back. It was a very, very short trip. But I was mostly there to do stuff with eBay and just buy stuff. At the National, I wasn't able to buy anything, so I told myself that I'm not leaving Gen Con unless I buy something. So first day was just more so walking around, seeing what everyone had, what was available, just trying to see what kind of cool, neat knickknacks were available. There was a lot of Dungeons and Dice. There was a lot of like demo games out there that I've never ever seen before. There was a lot of people. So if like you're wanting to go spend your weekend playing a bunch of a bunch of board games, that is a place. And like the thing is that Rule Breaking Nate, he kind of advised me on a lot of different things before going out to Gen Con. Not for anything bad. It was just more so like be prepared to be like up the entire time. He was not lying. People are literally in the convention center 24 hours. It is crazy. Like people are playing games, people are spending time with each other. I thought that was absolutely awesome. And it's just it's like this open environment where people are accepting, which I do appreciate. Like there was zero judgment. People are very, very kind to each other. If someone was in your way, everyone said, "Excuse me, sorry." Just stuff like that. It's not like the National where, you know, you have a bunch of people who aren't wearing deodorant, who are like literally just shoving and pushing and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's a totally different environment. Not ragging on the Nationals, just things that I noticed myself. But yeah, it was an overall good place to be at. I think that as time progresses, I would love to go to more events like Gen Con. I think I might put down Gen Con as my official like to go list every single year. I think that's something that I genuinely found joy in. I think that was a place where I found a little bit much more. I think I found a more appreciation behind Magic the Gathering at that event versus other events that I've gone to. I've been taking more time to be more understanding, more appreciative of all these sorts of new games. Well, they're not really new games, but new games to me. Obviously, if you go to a Collecticon, if you go to a lot of these different shows, you're made very, very well aware of indie TCGs like Akora, like MetaZoo, so on and so forth. MetaZoo was not at this convention. However, there were other indie TCGs that were there that I've never ever heard of, and it really puts things into perspective as to like what's going to last and what's not going to last. You know, there I got to hang out with Laura, aka Don Diego Trading, Len, her brother, and Super Duper Danny, and Rule Breaking Nate for a little bit. But you know, those are the people that I pretty much hung out with. I didn't really see that many Pokemon people there, honestly. I think if you went there, you were able to do relatively well. If you were someone who was trying to buy things from vendors, I think you did a fantastic job. At the National, there were things that I didn't cover last week that I wanted to cover today, as far as the things that I got at the National in terms of like promo stuff and just some of the things that I bought. So I'm going to go ahead and actually switch this camera over to my desk cam so that way you're able to see kind of like what we did for the PSA return. I know that some of you guys were wanting to see how well that would perform, and I got a lot of positive reviews for that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this camera over. You're going to see some stuff on my desk. I will be, by the way, guys, I will be at Cali for Collecticon next week. I actually fly out to California Monday, so I'm there for a full-on week. I do plan on going to Frankenstein. I do plan on going to all these different places. I do plan on hanging out with a lot of content creators and just having a good time and producing content. So on that note, let me go ahead and switch this camera over, and we're going to go ahead and see all the stuff that we got. So this is my desk. We're going to let you can see my calluses right here. Sorry about that. You can see all my shiny Pokemon figures, some Digimon right there as well. As you guys may know, that you see the Oshawott, the Tepig, and the Snivy there. They're all shiny. That's what I actually got at the National. That was the only item that I got. I traded my PSA 8 first appearance Blossom for the shiny Oshawott, the Tepig, and the Snivy. They are considered lottery figures, so I went ahead and got that. I think that was really cool. That's something I wanted to cross off. One cool thing, one of the cooler venues that I know someone here had asked about, what was my favorite booth at the National? I would probably say the Zero Cool. Reason being is because of the fact that there was just a lot of more modern pop culture based stuff, like Clerks 3, Dune, Stranger Things, and they had different promos. And I wasn't able to get the Stranger Things promo, unfortunately, because you had to get there exactly at 2, like you had to get there like a little bit before 2:30 and get in line just to wait on it. And that line would get filled really, really quickly. So I was not able to get it on all 4 of the days that was there. But these were some of the packs that I got at the Zero Cool booth. You see Clerks 3 collectible trading card figures. And again, this is by Zero Cool. And we have Dune right here as well. So we're going to go ahead and actually open this up right here on the podcast. Again, if you are watching us through, if you are listening to us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you do go on the channel. This is definitely a different episode. There wasn't too much happening. I do have guests lined up, but because of where these past like 3 weeks have been kind of filled, as far as me being busy and having to adjust to certain things and hitting certain windows or deadlines, I just wanted to go ahead and do this. Just have a little bit of fun with you guys. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. You guys know me. I don't really open stuff up on here. So this is a first. And yeah, I should have opened this a different way. Let's open it from the bottom up. There we go. I've never heard of Clerks 3, but we're just going to go ahead and open it up as such. I'm pretty sure this is a lenticular, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Tossing the wrapper down. So this is the back of it. It's definitely a lenticular. It says Jay and Silent Bob's Dance. Jay and Silent Bob are one of the most beloved duos in cinema, with no scene more iconic than their whimsical dance routine from 1994 cult classic Clerks. In 2022, Clerks 3 will see the pair revisit the bit in a moment of pure nostalgic euphoria. Ooh, so this is the lenticular. They're standing and they're dancing. Oh, that's actually really cool. They're dancing. Oh, that's sick. I love lenticulars. I love lenticulars a lot. I think there was actual an error right here. I think that might be some problems right there in the QC right there. So, but still really cool nonetheless. I'm gonna go ahead and place it down right here as so. And obviously, if you guys notice, this is a new mat. This mat was illustrated by Aaron Miller. He's a Magic the Gathering artist, and I'll show you a card that we'll show the card version of this and his signature on it. This mat also has a signature on it, so I thought that was really cool. Next up, I thought this was really cool because I do like Dune. Timothy Chalamet, Clam Chowder, he's in this, and I do like Dune, so it's really cool how they're doing like pop culture stuff. I really, really wanted the Stranger Things. I might go on eBay and try and buy myself one and just see what we get. I think there was a Vecna, which I thought that would have been really cool to pull. But I think all of these are actually lenticulars. I think all of these are actually lenticulars. I do plan on sending these out to possibly PSA. So on the back, we got Paul Atreides and Shani. So we got Zendaya and we got Timothy Chalamet. Paul Atreides embarks on an epic voyage of self-discovery when he encounters Shani in a moment that will change the trajectory of their lives. 2021 Dunes Part 1 is only the beginning of the exhilarating saga. So this is actually really, really cool, and we're going to go ahead and flip it. Ooh. Hold on. Uh-oh. There we go, Zendaya. And boom. Oh, man, that's really cool. That is fire. Whoa. And also, Zendaya is kind of bae, so that was really cool. I definitely want to get these cards graded by PSA or Beckett, whichever one. So these cards, I actually bought these packs in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was going to save these for the channel, but I wasn't able to do so. I got, I had an impulse, so what I did was I called up 100 Charizards and Don Diego on FaceTime, and I just opened this in front of them in my hotel room while I was down in Charlotte. So these are Marvel Gold Signature Series cards right here. You have Scarlet Witch and the person that illustrated this. So I think this is actually really, really cool. They're not expensive by any means, but I do love Marvel, and seeing these signature cards are actually absolutely fantastic. So we have Scarlet Witch, badass. We have right here, we have Tyrant. Same artist, with the illustration right here. And it's just really cool seeing stuff like this. It gives me a lot of Weiss Schwartz vibes. This was a really cool one. Getting Wolverine. This is pretty badass. And then we have the sparkly Captain America. I did have a Carnage card. I gave it to Don Diego, but the foil on this is crazy. It's just it is the definition of vintage. And on the back it says limited edition holo foil 1 out of 10. This does not mean it's numbered. It's just that there were 10 holo foils that you could potentially pull. So that was really cool. And then last but not least, we got War Machine. So awesome card. Awesome set, which I think is really cool. They're not too expensive, but these are cards that I was able to pull, and it just means a lot to me because I pulled them myself. We got some baseball stuff right here. I don't know if I do want to open them or not. It's totally up to you guys in the chat, so you guys let me know. But we have VIP prominent cuts, Michael Jordan with Upper Deck. We could open this up and kind of go through it. And then we got some baseball stuff with Andre Jackson from the LA Dodgers right here. So we can go ahead and open that if you guys want to. But if not, we're going to go ahead and pass that. Then we have the National Atlantic City 2022 Leaf VIP Floyd Money Mayweather card right here. And yeah, this is actually really cool. I think he was there to sign stuff. I can't remember exactly, but who knows. Floyd Money Mayweather, I know you're not going to watch this because this channel isn't that big, but you need to pay Logan Paul back. All right. Next up, we have this. We have another football pack right here. This is the Carolina Panthers, Panini. There's some different players in here, so we can go ahead and open this up if you guys want to. I know this is not sports based, but it's totally fine. Next up, we're getting into Aaron Miller. So Aaron Miller is the artist that was featured at the eBay booth. Really, really nice guy. And he did this beautiful artwork right here. It says Dragon right here. It's a token card. And it says I got Aaron Miller's signature right there. There's a dragon. It gives me a lot of Smaug vibes from Lord of the Rings. And if you flip this over, you see eBay and you see Gen Con 2022. Aaron Draws. That's what his Instagram account is. And then eBay Collectibles. Make sure you follow eBay Collectibles on Instagram. I thought that was really cool. I think this is really neat. I would love to get this graded if it can get graded. Now, we're switching over a little bit. So, this was my second time getting involved in a vintage, my third time getting involved with a vintage break with people that I'm friends with. So, last time I did a break of anything of the sort was back in Orlando for the $1 Million Box break with Super Duper Danny, Gary King Pokemon, Don Diego, Cassius Marsh, so on and so forth. And, I got to deal with two people that I'm absolutely friends with. And, towards the end, like throughout the entirety of the break, I could not pull anything. All of us had 8 packs each, so 24 packs in total. And Danny and Laura were getting all the hits, and I literally only got 1 hit. So, I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys, for those guys who are watching this, I do plan on giving these away. And I do have a lot of the commons and uncommons from base set as well as first edition Fossil that I do want to give away. So all of it's going to be given away. All you just have to do is leave a comment and you'll get 1 random card. But 1 random person will receive this right here. This is a Metapod signed card with my signature. That doesn't really matter, but it's really cool to have Don Diego Trading signature and Super Duper Danny signature on the card on this Metapod. I thought it would have been really cool to get it on this guy. He's just a mellow dude. So if you are interested, just leave a comment. And then the other giveaway is these as well. So this right here is a non-holo first edition Fossil Dragonite. So I am giving this away as well to one of you guys. Again, if you do like this, if you do like more content like this, feel free to share it. And also what's cool is that I'm going to make a quick video on this artist right here, Kagemaru Himino. She is notoriously known for drawing a lot of the artwork that you see in Fossil, but most importantly, she's actually did a lot of illustrations for Digimon. She has created some Digimon characters. So seeing Pokemon and Digimon from an artist like Kagemaru Himino, that's actually really cool. So I did pull this myself. So the 3 cards that you will see, as well as all the commons and uncommons, I'm not going to show you all the commons and uncommons, but I will be happy to give those away as well. If not, I'll probably just take it to Collecticon and just hand them out to some kids. But I do want to get this out. It is off-centered. You can tell this side is thick versus the left side, but I actually like this more than the holographic version. So that's that. This one is the only card I got to pull, and I thought this was actually really funny. So the funny story about this is that I believe it was last year. Those of you guys who know Alex Hodges, he was at New York City Comic Con, and he got to open up a base set box with DJ Ski, and one of the cards he pulled was a base set Zapdos. So basically, if you were in that live, watching that break go down, eBay then reached out to you, and then they asked you for your shipping information or mailing information. They sent you a box by eBay and DJ Ski, and one of the cards I got in it was a holographic Zapdos from base set. And fast forward to Orlando this year, I had Cassius Marsh and Blake Martinez up on my panel, and one of the cards that Cassius got that he was basically telling a local news source about was getting the Zapdos. And I had a Zapdos, and I gave it to him. And so pulling this is kind of like a full circle kind of thing, especially at an eBay booth for a break. So I am giving this away as well. So if you are in the chat right now, feel free to screenshot this, put it up on your story, so that way I can also let everyone else know. But all of this is being given away, and honestly, this is gorgeous. Centering is actually pretty solid. The bottom might be a little bit more thick than the top. There is a little white nick right there, and there is a little whitening right there, and there. So this could get a PSA 8, but nonetheless, I think this is a really, really gorgeous card. And honestly, how often do you get a near mint condition base set card? So make sure you do share this. Next up is stuff that I do plan on going back to that same card shop. I won't mention it because that card shop has employees that are kind of in trouble at the moment. But I do plan on buying direct from the card shop. And yeah, these are cards that I saw and I just had to buy it. I could have bought the biggest card there, but I wasn't prepared. I did not want to spend that kind of coin on it. So we have Digimon cards. So what's special about these Digimon cards is that this is a Digimon Card Game Ultimate Cup card, and so is this one. The importance is that this one was given out to people who participated in the actual tournament, and so is this. This is for people who got top 64. You can see Stingmon in the very, very back, and honestly, the artwork on this is just stunning. And the texture, look at that. The texture is crazy. And then this is top 32. So we got Pyodramon and XVmon. And just look at that. The texture on this is insane. Obviously, if you do watch Digimon, you know that Pyodramon is a fusion Digimon. You can see Stingmon right here and XVmon right there. And you can see that one right here. I do plan on getting like the top 8 and the first place trophy cards of these particular cards and sending it out to Becca to get graded. So those are all the things I pretty much got within the past few weeks. But I also wanted to show you guys a little bit of swag that I got. So I also got some cool stuff for myself that was given to me. So let me go ahead and show you guys some stuff. Let me switch over my camera to this over here because the card cam is done. So we're back on the main cam. So this is something that I bought from Indonesia, but it is a legitimate vintage piece. This is a handbag of Digimon Tamers. This is Takato and Guilmon looking adorable. This is original. This is it even has like the zipper. It says Digimon Tamers. And I just think it's really cool because even in the anime, Takato has a bag. So I will be taking this to all the shows now and putting all my collectibles in here and putting I'll get a Digimon fanny pack as well and put it in here as well. So I thought it was really cool. I think it's really cool to have, and it's basically a handbag. Next up, this is something that I got at. By the way, if you guys are interested, if you do not get a card or anything of the sort, I will be giving out like free wrappers of first edition fossil and then base set. So these are fourth print packs. So the holographic cards were not fourth print. They're actually unlimited, but all the other common and uncommons are basically fourth print. So definitely more rare than your normal North American print. But also, I got this as well. This is a Gen Con exclusive. It is a eBay buy it now board game, which I think is really sick. And yeah, I definitely plan on keeping this sealed because it's just really cool. It's like a memento of the event, and it's cool. People were playing the game. I watched it. There's some cards in here. Who knows? I might just bust it open just to get the cards graded. I think that'd be kind of interesting to do. And then let's see, what else do we have in here? I think that's it as far as that goes. Just a couple of business cards. All right. Next up, we're getting into some of the national stuff. So, spoke to PSA. PSA, apparently they like me, so they hooked a brother up. You know, they didn't do this to a lot of people. A lot of people were asking me, how did I get it? And I'm like, bro, I'm not Shivam. No, I'm just kidding. But they definitely hooked me up. I don't think they hooked up many people, if not a lot of people. Got a lanyard, PSA lanyard, which I think is really cool. And then I got a PSA water bottle, so also really cool. I got a PSA shirt. So after this, you're gonna be like, Shiv, you it looks like you work for PSA. Nah, it's just they really hooked me up. Smells like PSA. All right. Next up, we got a PSA corduroy hat. So, yeah, yeah, a corduroy hat. I'm not done yet, guys. Trust me. They gave me a few card savers, but the coolest thing was this right here. It's like a windbreaker, and it pretty much says what you think it says. It says PSA. I'm trying to find the front of it. Oh, here we go. Here it is. PSA. PSA. So, lots of stuff from PSA. Just a lot of stuff that I've received. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I pretty much got a lot of stuff. I've been buying a lot of smaller things here and there. I just bought a pretty expensive plushie, but it's not anything bad. Yeah, they definitely hooked me up. Yeah, that IG live was fun. It was kind of like a podcast vibe. And people at the eBay booth were like, man, that was like a podcast. And I'm like, I wrote a podcast. But no, this is actually pretty cool. Gen Con was absolutely a blast. I think more and more people should go. One cool thing was the food. The food was absolutely phenomenal. We went to this one place called Shapiro's on my last day there that GrabChew took me to. Shout out to GrabChew. And the day before that, I had Korean. I had a date. And then before that, we all went to this like steakhouse place where I had pasta. Really, really nice. Really, really great. Overall, just good food. I would highly recommend going to the next Gen Con if I were you. And I mean, if you can't go to that, there's plenty of Collecticons for you and I to go to. But just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up about next week. So, next week, again, like I stated, I will be at Collecticon, but more specifically, I'll be in California for a straight week. So from Monday to Monday, I'll be gone. There will be content on the channel scheduled to go, but there will not be any podcast for that particular week, unless I do a recording version of one on this weekend for it to go live on that week as well. So just stay tuned. If you're not going, there will be plenty of content on here. I know that there hasn't been many shorts. There hasn't really been that much stuff. It's just because it's been super duper hectic. But again, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for getting me monetized. Thank you guys for constantly being supportive. Thank you guys for sharing all my my content. I think that's like I can't really ask for much. So I've been really, really blessed. I've had a lot of opportunities and loads of opportunities that I can really handle to the point where I can't really take them. But besides that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I know this is a very, very short podcast, but I hope this was definitely fun enough for you guys to enjoy. We only had 3 people in here. The podcast kind of hasn't had a whole lot of people, but I look at it in the sense of, we no longer have Yizzy on the podcast, obviously, and, losing a co-host and no longer having a co-host means that there's going to be significant changes to the channel as far as that happens. And so it's like working from the ground up all over again. But guys, if you do see me in California, I will be at Frank and Son on Wednesday next week, and I will be at Collecticon. If you do see me at Collecticon, make sure you stop me. Make sure you say hi, hello. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. And again, this is the Vaulted Podcast, your number one source of cards, collecting, and the community. And again, guys, there's a lot of negativity out there. And you have to remember that if you're on social media and you're consuming negative content, it says a lot about you. And it says a lot about the person who's being negative on social media. And what I mean by that is that as a content creator, my job is to be able to provide as much value to you as possible. And if I'm just talking about other people, if I'm being negative, then that's a complete disservice to you. It is a 100% complete disservice to all of you. And if you do come to this channel, I want you guys to come here where you feel like you're seeing something really cool, and you're getting something of considerable value. Not excess drama, not excess negativity, not bullying or anything of the sort. So that's the purpose of this. It's to be informative. It's to bring the best guests possible, where you guys are actually able to learn something. I bring guests on because I feel like you guys have more to learn from them than me. I'm just here to provide that. I'm the intermediary. But on that note, guys, keep it positive, keep it cool, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any particular questions, feel free to message me on Instagram at @notshivam. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good rest of the evening and good night. See ya.